Window frame sealant is purchased in cylindrical shaped canisters of 7 centimeter diameter and 20 centimeter in length, as shown. So here we have this diagram to represent this information that was given. Using pi is equal to 3.14, calculate the volume of the canister. Now, what is the volume of the canister? Well, the volume of the canister, notice that this is a cylindrical shaped canister. The first thing we have to do is we have to figure out what is the area of the cross section, all right? And then we have to multiply it by the length, all right? Now, when we say cross section, what do we mean? Well, the cross section of the cylinder, right, is a circle, right? That's the cross section. And so that means that we have to figure out the area of the circle. And then after you figure out the area of the circle, we're going to multiply it by the length, all right? And so what is the area of the cross section? Well, the area of the cross section is the area of a circle because the cross section is a circle. And so the area of the cross section is going to be pi r squared because that's the area of a circle. And the length is 20, all right? Now in this case, what is pi? Well, we know pi is 3.14, but what is r, right? R is the radius, right? And the radius is going to be half the radius is going to be half of the diameter. Now the diameter is 7 centimeters, but we have to divide that by 2, okay? And what is 7 centimeters divided by 2? Well, 7 centimeters divided by 2 is 3.5, so this is going to be 3.5. That is the radius, right? Because this whole thing, right, is the diameter, the whole thing, that's the length. But we only want half of it. So we only want half of that. So it's going to be 3.15. That is the radius, 3.15. I'm sorry, 3.5. So the radius is 3.5, not 3.15, but 3.5, because that's half of 7. And so we have pi, which is 3.14, and we have the radius, which is 3.5, and we multiply it by 20. So we say 3.15 squared, and that gives us, when we do 3.5 squared, we get 12.25, and when we multiply 12.25 by 3.14, we get 38.465, and that's how we got this right there. So first we do 3 squared, and then we multiply 3 squared by 3.14, and that gave us 38.465, and then we multiply that by 20, and we multiply it by 20, we get 769.3 centimeters cubed. And this is the volume of the canister, 769.3 centimeters cubed. Next, it states that one canister contains 425 grams of sealant. A window sealing job requires 1.8 kilograms of sealant. Calculate the number of canisters to be purchased. Now, the first thing that we notice is that this is grams and this is kilograms, and that's a problem because we need to ensure that all of the units are the same before we continue with our computations of this problem. So we're going to convert kilograms into grams. And so we ask ourselves, okay, 1.8 kilograms. How many grams is 1.8 kilograms? And so in order to do this, we use this acronym, which states knock him down, Grammy, don't commit murder. Now here, the G signifies grams, the K is for kilograms, and so we move over from kilograms to grams, so it's going to be 1, 2, 3, right? So we move over 3 times, and so since we move over 3 times, we're going to multiply by 1,000 because it's 3 zeros, and we move over 3 times to the right, and so that's why we're going to multiply. So we have 1.8 times 1,000, which gives us 1,800. So that means that 1.8 kilograms is equal to 1,800 grams. And so if we want to figure out the amount of canisters to be purchased, well, we have to take 1,800 grams and divide it by, remember this 425 grams. So we have 1,800 grams divided by 425 grams. And when we divide it, we get 4.235294118. And so, but they ask us for the number of canisters to be purchased. Now, our answer has to be a whole number, okay? So Our answer has to be a whole number, but currently we have a decimal. And so we either, so our answer currently is a decimal, but we want the number of canisters that can be purchased. So we're looking at a whole number. This is a whole number. Now, a person can say, okay, well, the answer is 4 canisters because we got 4 here. Well, 4 canisters will be too little, right? It won't be enough because it won't be enough to finish the job, okay? Because you still have some more left, and that's what these decimal numbers are saying, right? You have 4, but you still need a little bit more, right? You need a little bit more than 4, okay? So you can't get 4 canisters because it wouldn't be enough for the job, but you can't get 4.235 whatever canisters. We need a whole number. So if we get 4, that's too little. If we get anything less than 4, that's still too little. So we have to get 5, and the reason why we get 5 canisters is because 5 would be enough to complete the job. And so the number of canisters to be purchased is going to be 5 canisters. And that's the answer to this question.